And we are here with a very special guest, all the way from Honolulu, Hawaii to Atlanta, Georgia. I'm pleased to have here Spencer Lorenzo Fountain, also known as Renzy808. How are you doing? And what's the present life been for you during this COVID-19 pandemic?
I think COVID has allowed me to really stay put, and just focus on my craft, and that made me take it to the next level. So it was a blessing in disguise for me for sure.
Congratulations on signing a publishing deal with Sony and ATV. How does that feel for you?
It feels good, man. It feels like the beginning. A lot of people feel like when they get a contract or a deal that's the end, that they made it, but for me, it's just getting started. It feels good. It's an exciting time.
So at the age of 18, you started doing music. I know that in Hawaii, you worked with Jason Jet Jones. At the time when you were doing music, what would you say that you enjoyed about it, and who were some of your inspirations in music?
For me, it was a hobby. I just enjoyed creating stuff and listen to something that I came up with. It was fun. It was a hobby for me. Inspiration wise, I don't know. This is a tough question to ask because there's so many different people I listen to. So there's too many to say.
You're a music producer now, definitely having a lot of success. When was your realization that you realized I wanted to be a music producer?
It came when I got into a car accident in Hawaii. I got into a car accident, I hurt my back, and I had to do physical therapy for a year. Like I said, music was make a hobby. So now that I had, the injury and I couldn't really move for a little bit, I started dabbling in music even more and realized like, yo, this is something that I can do. That was that aha moment.
And of course, in Hawaii, Hawaii is a big sports town. You had a career in baseball. What would you say about your baseball career and how did you enjoy it?
Man, I've been playing baseball since I was 5 years old. Played on a lot of little league teams all growing up. College was just a part of me. That part is over now. So, but I enjoyed baseball. I still love it. Baseball, so many moments. I just enjoy waking up, getting ready to go to the games, and just remembering, my Uncle Dane watching the games and being proud. And that's what I remember. I remember those moments, those bonding moments.
You've been living in Atlanta. What's the transition been like for you living in Hawaii to Atlanta since you moved there around 2015?
It was like night and day. I came here. I didn't know anybody. The weather, the people, what they do for fun, everything is different. I came here by myself, really not knowing anybody. And for me, it's a business trip. I didn't come here to play around. I didn't come here to go out and party and do that stuff. I came here to make my dreams come true. For me, it was like getting a fresh start. And that's what I turned it into.
And as you mentioned, you are living in Atlanta now, definitely having a lot of success. Congratulations on forming your company, GTK. Let's talk about GTK Enterprises and what's that all about?
My Uncle Doug, he's like a father figure to me. And when I started taking music seriously, he was one of the people that backed me and believed in me. So we formed a company together. Now we're elevating and we got artists and we're just trying to grow it into a next major label. We have artists that are signed to us as well that we manage. We try to help take their career to the next level. Ultimately, we want to just keep growing as a company, be known as one of those major labels.
So in music, let's talk about a successful track that you've worked On Call, Trey Songz, Dolla. How did that collaboration come together and what was it like? It's number 15 on the Billboard Music Charts right now.
It was a blessing. It was a layup, honestly. And what I mean by that is the songwriter that wrote the song sent me the acapella. I heard it and I was like, yeah, that's easy. It's an easy placement because the song was already written. So all I had to do was make the beat to the words. I made the beat to the words and I sent it to a friend of mine named Tobias Tate that knows Trey Songz and them. He gave it to Trey Songz and them for me. The rest was a wrap. Trey Songz did the rest. He decided to put Dolla on the record. He felt like it would be a good vibe with Dolla on it. It really started with the songwriter sending me the song, the words by itself. And I heard and I made a beat around it and we got it to Trey.
You've also worked on a track with YG, Safe to Say, which is also featured on Yella Beezy's Ain't No Goin Bacc. Talk about that collaboration as well, too.
I called his manager. I was trying to, get into the studio with them. Rest in peace to Young Mozzie. I did a lot of stuff while he was alive. He's a rapper that died. Yella Beezy turned out to be a big Young Mozzie fan. So when he heard that I used to work with Young Mozzie, that's really kind of the bond that was like, all right, bring him to the studio. He liked that beat. He did that song. And it's kind of like the same thing with the Trey Songz, right? Like he did the record and was like, I think YG would be good on this record. So he put YG on it.
You're working on some stuff with Neo, and I know it's gonna be fire. I know you can't talk about it right now, but I know you're definitely working with him on a couple of things. So
I can say, I don't want to say too much. I know we're working on some stuff, his TV show, Step Up on Stars. Working with Neo has been a blessing. I've been working with Neo almost every day this past few weeks. We're just working on a whole bunch of other stuff that I can't really talk about. A lot of stuff. He's the #1 songwriter in the world for a reason. It's going to be great.
In your music career, knowing that you've been having a lot of success on the music production side of things, what's been the most memorable for you?
It would have to be the Yella Beezy track because that was the first one. You always get excited about your first major placement. So I just remember the feeling when that song first came out. That feeling like, man, I'm really living my dreams. That's probably the most memorable. I mean, the Trey Songz stuff was memorable as well. Nothing like that first one.
What are you presently working on right now in music, and what are some of the future projects that we should be looking out for?
A lot of things to do. So right now, working with Neo, Chris Brown, who else is like on the priority list right now? Raish, she's pretty dope.
And in your career, who are you mostly thankful for? And when people look back on your legacy that you want to give back, what would you want your legacy to be?
If it wasn't for a lot of people, it was a collective effort, from my parents, my Uncle Doug, my grandparents allowing me to come to Georgia, a collective effort that went into my success. It's hard to say who was the most important. My legacy, I want to be a mogul for the state of Hawaii. At the end of the day, I want, when people hear Renzy808, they think of Hawaii, create a lot more opportunities for children in Hawaii, and just give back to my home state. Ultimately, my goal is to keep becoming successful and to come back to Hawaii in a better place.
Knowing that you've been having a lot of success in the industry, what is something that you wish you would have known when you first started out in your career?
I wish I would have known how important it was to network from the beginning. It didn't really dawn on me how important networking was until I was here about, for a year or two. That famous saying, it's all about who you know. And that is kind of true. It really is about who you know. Like, I didn't know Tobias Tate, and Tobias knows Trey. As good as that song is, Trey would have never heard it. Networking and creating good relationships with people is important, and I wish I knew that earlier. Because I was a hermit crab when I first came to Atlanta. I was in my house or at my grandma's house making beats all day and just expecting that, if I just keep making beats and sending emails out, like, it's going to get heard eventually. It doesn't work like that. You can't just be a hermit crab in the house, make beats and send emails and expect things to happen. You actually really got to go out there and meet these people. So now they're looking for your email. Like, now that they met you, I remember this person.
And we are here with Billboard Music Producer, Renzy808. Just want to say I appreciate your time, brother, and wish you all the best.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you guys for having me.